The secret of Starfall Valley. Deep in the heart of the enchanted woods, nestled between the rolling hills and sparkling rivers, lay a hidden valley called Starfall Valley. No one knew exactly how it got its name, but the few travelers who stumbled upon it told stories of stars falling from the sky and landing softly on the ground like glowing pebbles. In a small cottage at the edge of the valley lived a bright-eyed girl named Alara. She had curly brown hair, a heart full of curiosity, and a mind filled with dreams. Her best friend was a clever squirrel named Nutty, who often rode on her shoulder as they explored the valley. One evening, while Alara was reading under a tall maple tree, Nutty suddenly chattered excitedly. He tugged at her sleeve and pointed his tiny paw toward the sky. "Alara, look," he squeaked. Alara gasped. A silver streak of light was cutting across the twilight sky, growing brighter and brighter, but instead of vanishing like a normal shooting star, it kept coming closer until it landed softly on a grassy hill. Without hesitation, Alara grabbed her lantern and ran toward the glowing spot with Nutty clinging to her shoulder. As they reached the hill, they found something incredible, a small crystal orb shimmering with an inner light. Alara bent down and picked it up. The moment her fingers touched the orb, a warm voice echoed in her mind. "The time has come. The valley needs your help." Alara's eyes widened. "Did you hear that, Nutty?" The squirrel nodded nervously. "Yes, and I don't like mysterious voices." Before they could say anything else, the ground trembled slightly and the glow of the orb pulsed like a heartbeat. Then the air shimmered, and in front of them appeared a tall figure wrapped in stardust and moonlight. "I am Lyara, guardian of the stars." The figure said, her voice like the wind through chimes. "Long ago, this valley was protected by a magic hidden in the star crystals, but someone has stolen them, and now the valley's magic is fading." Alara's heart pounded. "Who stole them?" "A shadowy trickster named Zyron," Lyara said. "He hides in the misty caves deep within the valley. If the star crystals are not returned soon, Starfall Valley will lose its magic forever." Alara squared her shoulders. "Then we'll get them back." Nutty gulped. "We will, yes, Nutty. We have to." Lyara smiled. "Be brave, young ones. Follow the light of the orb, and it will guide you." With that, Lyara vanished, leaving the glowing orb in Alara's hands. She looked at Nutty, and he sighed. "Fine, but if we run into a dragon, I'm climbing a tree." Together, they followed the orb's glow through the darkening valley. Fireflies danced around them, and the trees whispered encouragement. Soon they reached the entrance of the misty caves, where eerie blue mist curled along the ground. Inside, shadows flickered against the rocky walls. Alara gripped the orb tightly as they ventured deeper. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the cave. "Well, visitor." A tall figure stepped out of the darkness. Zyron had gleaming silver eyes, a tattered cloak, and a smirk that sent shivers down Alara's spine. Behind him, a pile of star crystals pulsed with trapped light. "Give back the crystals," Alara demanded. Zyron chuckled. "Why should I? They're beautiful, aren't they? I like pretty things. But without them, the valley will lose its magic," she said. "So what?" Zyron shrugged. "Magic is just magic." Nutty, who had been trembling, suddenly perked up Alara. "Maybe he doesn't understand what magic really is." Alara thought for a moment. Then she held up the glowing orb and spoke softly. "Magic isn't just about power. Zyron, it's about life. It's the song of the birds, the glow of the fireflies, the laughter of the wind. Without it, the valley will turn dark and silent, and you will be all alone." Zyron's smirk faltered. The cave seemed to hold its breath. Finally, his silver eyes flickered with something new. Understanding? Slowly, he turned to look at the pile of crystals. Then, with a sigh, he picked them up and handed them to Alara. "Take them," he muttered. "I don't want to be alone." Alara smiled. "You don't have to be." As soon as the crystals left Zyron's hands, they burst into golden light. The cave walls shimmered and the mist lifted. Outside, the stars in the sky burned brighter than ever. Lyara appeared once more, her eyes twinkling like constellations. "You have done well, Alara, and Zyron, you have learned that true magic is meant to be shared." Zyron rubbed the back of his neck. "Ah, I guess I did." With a wave of her hand, Lyara sent the star crystals soaring into the sky. They settled into their rightful places, and at that moment, Starfall Valley came alive once more. Flowers bloomed, the rivers sparkled, and the stars above twinkled in gratitude. Alara and Nutty cheered, and even Zyron couldn't help but smile. From that night on, Starfall Valley was safe, and Zyron found a new purpose, not as a trickster, but as a guardian of the valley's magic. And so, under a sky filled with falling stars, Alara, Nutty, and their new friend Zyron walked home knowing that the valley's light would never fade again.